Join us. Help us to pass a bill that will allow annual income to every American. I am Will Patterson, founder of Independence Movement Now. Please become a member and support our cause to achieve annual income to every American. This is the dream of Martin Luther King before he was murdered. This law will end violence, crime, poverty, economic inequality. This law will change the disproportionately high mass incarceration rates and unemployment rates in the African American community and so much more. This is the key to having a great future for all people and to give true economic independence to every citizen. We must spread the word and come together to create a great future for our children and for our community. Our goal is for Congress to pass an economic stimulus bill that will allow annual income to every American. This will end poverty, crime, violence, income inequality. This is the solution for prejudice, for racism. This is a solution for the effects that racism has had on our country for so long. Economic injustice is a product of racism. If we solve economic injustice, we solve the effects racism has had on our communities. This bill will allow us to end gang wars, to end criminal activities. This is the only answer for hundreds of years of racial injustice that has not only affected African Americans, but racial injustice that has affected all Americans. Racism still exists today, and we see how the effects of racism has affected America, and it is destroying the very fabric of our community. Ever since Dr. Martin Luther King died, we have become complacent, and we have not participated in activism and standing up to the racist oppression that we have been facing. We must come together to end the genocide of our people and to leave a future for our children and for our community. The black church used to be a place of change. It used to be a place where people could learn how to come together and help the black community. After Dr. King died, the black church and the black leadership was afraid to stand up. We stopped fighting for our rights. We stopped organizing activism for our community, and to not do anything about the oppression and racism that is destroying our communities every single day. That is why churches are so silent about the issues that we need to address, like why unemployment rate is so high in African American communities, and why is racism being perpetrated throughout American society, teaching black people to feel inferior about themselves, allowing our tolerance of inferiority and our acceptance of inferiority to allow us to be okay with racism and discrimination and increasing gaps in income inequality. And the gaps in income equality is the cause of crime and violence in our societies. This bill will change all that. The black church has become silent. It is no longer a vehicle for change in our communities. Ever since Dr. King died, the black church no longer participated in organized activism for our economic independence, which would give us true equality and would solve economic and social problems in our community. It is time to stand up all over America and to make a future for our children and for their children. There is nothing that the U.S. government can do to repay the descendants of enslaved Americans for what their ancestors have went through. This bill is the only logical answer for U.S.'s partaking of slavery. This is the only logical solution for reparations once and for all, giving us true equality, which is economic equality. The corporate owners have created a food and health system in America that is fast and convenient, but is creating an increasing amounts of health problems and diseases and health alignments. The chemicals, the additives, preservatives, GMOs that they're putting into processed foods is having very negative effects on our bodies. The pharmaceuticals are putting holes into our bodies and increasing our health problems even more. This is a vicious cycle of eating junk food and cheap convenient food and then getting sick and then taking pharmaceuticals. Black children are being disproportionately diagnosed with ADHD and prescribed high doses of Adderall, Ritalin, and other psychoactive meds. That there are so many things that is having a bad effect on our health, from fast foods, junk foods, which is literally poisoning us, to television and news, which portrays a negative image of black people and teaches us to be okay with oppression and genocide. But we have an answer. If we continue to spread the word, our elected officials will have no choice but to pass this law. Our government is elected by the people. It is elected for the people. They must serve us, and they will serve us. We must pass this law for the future of all people. This will set an effect that will eventually catch on to the whole world. Please join us. Go to IMnow.online. Like, comment, and share, and spread the word. Tell people. Thank you. Have a blessed day.